Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel, Gabby on Paper. Today's video is going to be a two-parter. First, I am going to kind of talk about YNAB and my experience using it for the first 34 days during the free trial. The second part will be just going over my YNAB setup, all of my category groups, and my categories. So let's go ahead and get started. So YNAB is just a budgeting software that's based on the envelope method. The point is to give every dollar a job. Basically, you calculate your monthly expenses, including bills like your rent and utilities, and then your variable expenses like food and transportation. It also helps you plan for the future expenses, and it would be things like car tags or the yearly Amazon fee, or even things like Christmas. So I've now been using this for 34 days for the free trial. I did sign up for the next month, and I'm supposed to get one more month for free because I did use a referral link. But the reason I fell in love with it in the short period that I've tried it is because it's so easy to roll with the punches, as they say. It's so easy to move money around. If you are overspent in one category, you can pull that money from a different category. It's something that I wasn't able to do easily with the cash envelope system, and I think it's what drew me away from that. I also love how pretty you can make it and add emojis to all your categories and just make it look real nice. I love that. I love that you can get creative with category group names and category names. I haven't done that yet. I just wanted to create it and get used to it, and then maybe down the line I can figure out how to make the names of my categories fun to make budgeting even funner. I love that it allows you to keep the money in one account, and then YNAB, as you assign money to the different categories and spend money from the different categories, it'll tell you how much money you have left in each category without having to create 15 different accounts and keep track of all of that. I also love the fact that you create targets for the different categories that you have. That way you know how much you have left to fund for the month, or how much you have to contribute each month to reach a certain goal. One of YNAB's goal is to age your money. So ideally you would get 30 days ahead, so that's 1 month ahead in your finances, so that when the first of the month hits, the month is fully funded. You don't have to worry about assigning any money. That month is taken care of. Making things a little easier on your mind. It gives you a little bit of an extra, emergency fund, is the way I look at it. But anyways, so now that I've kind of gone over that a little bit, I just wanted to keep that brief and go over how I fell in love with YNAB. I wanted to now go over my YNAB setup. I've watched a bunch of videos on this. Literally have gone back to the beginning of people's YNAB playlists or whatever and watched them all to kind of figure out what would work for me, and this is what I've come up with for now. I mean, I'm not going to say this is not going to change in the future. It will, as my goals change and as I learn to use YNAB a little more. I'm sure we'll see some changes in my YNAB setup, and if it does, I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. So let's get right into it. I'm going to skip the focus on now for now. We'll get back to this a little bit later. We'll just start with the credit cards category group. And this is basically just keeping track of all the credit cards that I have in YNAB. I haven't linked any of my accounts. I enter all my transactions in manually. I prefer to do it that way. As I spend money on these credit cards, it would keep a tally here of how much I've been spending, and then I'll have to transfer the available amount to my card to pay it off. So far, I have $48.50 available to pay off my Sapphire credit card. That's my main credit card that I use for everything, and that would bring it down to a zero balance. If I place a Gap order and use my Gap credit card, that would be recorded here, and then you would see the available amount to make a payment increase to whatever I spend. Next is saving and investing, and this is something that is not a huge priority for me right now because I feel like I just need to get on my feet and get through the end of the year. These next few months are going to be very expensive with our trip to Mexico, with Thanksgiving, with Christmas, New Year's, anniversary. So once that is behind me, I will focus on the saving and investing. That's going to be a big priority for me. But for now, since I haven't worked for so many months this year, this is going to have to take a step back so I can, focus on the other things and not have to constantly pull from savings for things that come up. My bills are pretty much just my bills aside from my subscriptions. So my rent and utility fee that we pay the building, as you can see, I've already put half of my rent and utility fee in my account for November's payment. And I'm going to do what Avery's Money Moves does. Basically, she saves half of her rent from every paycheck. I plan on doing that. So my first paycheck that I get in October, which should be, I think, October 14th, will cover the rest of November's payment. My second paycheck in October will start covering December's payment, and I'll do that going forward because I really like that method. That means your rent is always covered and even in advance. And with rent being my largest expense, it's a huge just a huge relief, knowing that that'll be taken care of. Obviously right now I'm not really ahead. I guess I'm ahead in the sense that normally I would take half of November from my first paycheck, the other half of November's rent from my second paycheck, and that would fund November. But I like that I am at least one paycheck ahead and hope to get at least a full month ahead in my rent and all my other bills. Anyways, so rent and utility fee, I have my cell phone bill and then my electricity bill. Aside from that, all the other bills I have are my subscriptions. So Netflix, Apple One, and Hulu, my Peloton, my Pipsticks, which is my sticker subscription. You guys know I love that. And then Amazon Prime. This is something that I pay yearly, but split it with my sister and our friend. So it's a sinking fund that I'm just saving up each month so that in March, I want to say, when it's due, I have the money ready to go and it's not a larger expense. I'm thinking about moving this category down to sinking funds. I'm not sure though, because it's technically a subscription, so it's here for now. Next is variable expenses, and you can see what they are: groceries, dining out, treats, entertainment, and miscellaneous. So Gabby is really anything related to me. I want to find a better name. Obviously, I needed a name for the category group, so for now I just put my own name, but I need to rename it because it really bothers me. So these are all just like anything related to me and my personal spending. So clothes, shoes, and accessories. So it'd be like handbags or hair things or whatever, socks if I want them. And then hobbies for all my different hobbies, whether that be YouTube stuff, or if I buy a planner, or if buy Japanese stationery, which I love, whatever, that will go here. Then massage is so I can start getting massages more regularly. I love massages and I want to make them a priority, so I'm going to start saving for them each month. My birthday, this is just to buy myself something a little out of the ordinary, something that I wouldn't just easily go buy. And you guys know that I do not deny myself much, but there are some things that I think twice on. Right now, it's the new AirPod Pros. I got my AirPods wet some months ago, so they're not great. They struggle a little bit, but they still, for the most part, function okay. I can't use them on a plane. Something to do with the pressure makes them all staticky or something, and sometimes on the train it kind of cuts out. I don't know. So that's one of the things that I hesitate buying because I already have some, but I do need to buy. So maybe for my birthday. And then haircut, I'm just starting to save for my next haircut. I just got my haircut at the beginning of September, so only funding it a little bit for now. I probably won't get another haircut for 6, 7, or 8 months or so, but just having some money in there will make it easier when the time comes. Next are my sinking funds. I just remembered that I wanted to, oh my gosh, my mouse is, wow. I just remembered that I wanted to add an electronics sinking fund, and I had completely forgotten, so it's up here for now. I'll figure out the target and move it around to where I want it. But this is for when I want to buy, well, I just got my laptop some months ago over the summer, but I really want to get an iMac at some point. I know it's not necessary for now, especially because I just got a brand new $2,000 MacBook Pro, so I'm good for now, but just down the road, I'll start contributing to this, and eventually one day I'll have my dream iMac. Also for if I need to get, again, headphones would be a good one in here, or a new phone, new iPad, things like that. The holding category is for when I have a tiny bit of extra money, don't know what to do with it, I'm just throwing it in here. Like I had 22 cents left over, I'll throw it in here, let it build up, and then figure it out. Renter's insurance is, well, just that. Our renter's insurance will be due in February, so I am just saving up to have my half funded by the time February 1st comes around, so we can pay for that. The Sapphire is just like my credit card fee. I think it's like $95, and I want to say it's due in, when is it due? In May, I think. So I'm just saving for that fee. Rideshare, I've mentioned this before, but I'm starting to save and create a little bit of a sinking fund, just like an ongoing one for Ubers and Lyfts, because there have been a few occasions that we just haven't felt the safest riding the train, and I'd rather be safe and take an Uber. So I'm just building this up because I've had a couple of occasions when we've had to drop like $50 on an Uber to get home in the middle of the night. So if I have some money here, I'll just ease the pain a little bit. Gifts are for any gifts outside of my boyfriend's gifts and Christmas. So this would be things like my dad's, my sister's, my brother's birthdays, my nephew's birthdays, Father's Day, things like that. Home will be for any home expenses, and this can be things from Swiffer wet wipes to buying a new rug or whatever. I'm just gonna fund it little by little. I'll let the money roll over each month and hopefully build up a bit. Date night is for, okay, so I think I've said this before, but considering I live with my boyfriend, we don't have any family around, we have very, very, very few friends here in Chicago since we moved here and I just started a new job. He works from home. You could argue that all of our outings are dates because it's just the two of us always, but this is more for something a little more special. For example, a fancy dinner out, like a steakhouse, which I love. We rarely do, only very special occasions. So we go out for steak, like we went for our anniversary last year. Or if we want to do dinner and like a show, or like a magic show, or like a play or something. Things we rarely ever do, but just like for like an extra fun activity and make it a real date night rather than us just going out for food. Moving is for, well, a moving fund. It's just a moving fund. Our lease will be up at the end of April, and I doubt we'll be able to stay in our apartment. I am really worried that we're going to be priced out, that they'll increase the rent so much that we won't be able to keep living here, or it just wouldn't make sense. Like technically, yes, I may have some extra money in the budget to continue living here, but we don't want to be spending much more on rent than we already are, because we do feel like our apartment's a little pricey, and if we go a little further out, still in the city, but like not spend as much. So if we have to end up moving, I want to have some money saved up for moving supplies like boxes, tape, whatever, and then to hire movers. That's something that I feel like we did once and it changed my life forever. I will always, for the rest of my life, hire movers. It's so worth it. It's, $300-$400 for a few hours. We don't have a ton of things. It's just we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, a small one. So hiring movers to move us out and move us in, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I don't want to count on like friends and family anymore because we're all old. So the expense is worth it for me. Okay, live events is to like start saving money for live events, for when they announce a concert that we want to go to, instead of randomly having to scramble and buy the tickets like I did all this summer for Kid Cudi and Kendrick Lamar. I want to build up so that I have some money ready for when they announce a concert. We can just buy the tickets immediately without having to like think twice or think about where the money is coming from. The $125 that I have here is specifically for a Bears game that we want to go to in November. We'll have to buy the tickets this month because they are increasing in price. And the $125, I mean, I don't know if you'll believe it or not, we haven't gone to many NFL games, only a couple. So to me, it sounds like a lot, but the $125 is literally like nosebleeds, like as high as you can go. The tickets are just that expensive. Holidays and events are for everything outside of Christmas. So that would be New Year's, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, just any of those holidays, they may cost money. I'm going to save up money here. Like, we don't necessarily do things for these things, but like typically for Thanksgiving, we have a Thanksgiving meal, which is a lot more money than we would normally spend on a meal. So just to have money saved up for things like that. For Valentine's Day, we typically take it really easy. It's really, really close to my birthday. We just, got done with all the Christmas craziness and expenses. So we'll normally do something like a cheap meal, and then I typically do like a fun gift. Nothing too serious, nothing too expensive. So just want to save up a little bit for this. Hopefully we'll get a heart-shaped pizza. I'm all about that, about different shaped pizzas. I don't care where they're from. A's birthday. A is my boyfriend, and we typically do bigger gifts for our birthdays. This last birthday of his, I wasn't able to do much because I was unemployed. So I want to make it up to him this year. And he really doesn't care, but I like giving gifts. So it matters to me, and I already have a really good activity planned for his birthday, and it's going to be really expensive, but it's going to be so worth it because he's going to love it. And then Costco is for the occasional Costco run that we're eventually going to do. We'll buy things like toilet paper, paper towels, pasta. I buy my Pepsis there, rice, things like that. Just things that we can buy in bulk. It makes sense for the two of us. We don't do this very often. I mean, we've been in Chicago for, since February 1st. So that's like 8 months or so. And we've gone to Costco twice, so it's not that often. Miscellaneous is just for things that I have forgotten to include for anything else that I just haven't remembered. Now I'm gonna skip down to my wish list and then go back up to the wish form. So the wish list are some of the items that I want to save up for. As you can see, I have smaller items here, and then obviously more expensive items that I probably won't get to funding these, to be honest, but I want to keep them there in case, one day I decide to go for it. So they're always there, and I'm always reminded of these items that I want, these big ones down here. These ones I can just buy as I, save up little bits of money here and there. Anyways, so this is my wish list, and then I will pick a couple of items from my wish list and move them up to my wish farm and start funding those. So as you can see here, I have some Guzzini bowls that I saw at Italy that I really want. They cost $36. That would be including tax, I think. Yes, including tax. So you want to do a little bit of research and figure out how much it would cost to buy them with taxes, with shipping and all that, and then little by little fund it. So right now I have $14 available to put towards my Guzzini goals, and maybe by the end of this month I'll have it fully funded. I don't know. And then I only have $20 to go towards a diamond tennis bracelet. It's so cute. I don't know how realistic this is, but I'm just gonna save a little money towards it. If I did get to the $1,450, which honestly right now, if I had $1,500, I'd rather send it to something else. But if I had the $1,500 to buy this tennis bracelet, I don't know how likely it is that I would actually do it. But it's there. It's my wish list item. Whatever. Okay. And then the final category down here are the reimbursements. As you know, I split some subscriptions with my boyfriend and my sister, and I pay for everything. They send me the money. So when I get the charge for example, Hulu, I'll add it to my credit card and then split that payment between my Hulu category, which is up here, and then my boyfriend's reimbursement category, and then my sister's reimbursement category. So this is how much they owe me so far for the subscriptions that have been charged so far this month. The top line, a rent, is for my boyfriend's rent. So we both contribute to a joint account, and I'm in a different schedule that he is. I'm, like I said, one paycheck ahead. So as he deposits money into our joint account, I will record it, and there will be a credit over here for the amount of money that he has deposited into our joint account. Then when the rent payment goes through, there will be activity in the amount of the rent. So it'll be like the $23.56, I want to say is what the number is, and then this will be zeroed out. So at the end of the month, this will always be zeroed out once I make the payment. So that's it for these categories down here. Now I'm going to jump back up to the focus on now. And I got this from Avery's Money Moves. I love her videos. These are some sinking funds that I'm working on right now. These are my main focus. Travel is for all travel things. I had funded this for Charlotte and in September, and then right now I'm funding this for Mexico in November. Christmas is coming up, so that I'm saving for the gifts, decorations, everything. Our anniversary is coming up as well. And there's an 8-ball here because this is our 8th anniversary coming up, which is crazy. And I just love this little emoji. Never get to use it, so I'm excited I got to use it for this. And then YNAB, I want to pay for the full subscription as soon as possible, because otherwise it's $14.99 a month versus, I want to say it's like $100 for the whole year. So it's a lot cheaper to pay for the whole year, and I am completely loving it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to pay for the whole year as soon as I have the money saved up. I just wasn't prepared when I needed to pay for the first month. Let's see. So I took this from Avery's Money Moves, and these are just the categories that I want to focus on now. They're the most important ones for me to fund, so I'm literally throwing every extra penny I get to these categories. So if you look in November, I've already started funding November's budget for these categories, since this is the most important one. Well, really, I've only done the travel. I put $202 essentially towards November's travel budget line. And then any extra money like this up here will go towards these. That is it for my YNAB budget. I'm excited to do my very first budget with me in in about a week and a half. So I get paid on the 14th. I'm pretty sure that's the date. So I'll be doing a budget with me that very same day and get it uploaded immediately, so you can see how I am doing things. So if I can find it, I will put my referral link in the description box. If you use my link to sign up for YNAB, you'll get essentially 2 months for free, the 34 days that YNAB gives you, and then for using my link, you'll get an additional 30 days when you sign up for YNAB. So essentially 3 months for the price of one is pretty much what you'd be getting if you use that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. I haven't looked for it yet, but if I do, you'll see it in the description. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.